Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today's video I want to talk about some things I've been seeing around the community lately, and that's in regards to the, I guess, recent negativity going on in the community. So, in case you are living under a rock, I will straight up just tell you what we're talking about right away. Basically, the Empower black market is going to be falling apart and being shut down by KI. Also, on top of that, there seems to be a lot of players who actually do not like spell fusion. Now, as somebody who has completed all you can do in Selenopolis and done like every side quest and stuff like that, I kind of want to offer my opinion on some things. Originally, today's video was going to be the best spell fusion combos, but after seeing all this news go up in the community, I decided to postpone that video for a day or two, so don't worry, you will see that this weekend. Also, it's my birthday this weekend on Sunday, so I might not have a video or a stream on Sunday. Gonna be seeing some family and go out to the movies and stuff like that. But anyways, let's get back on topic in the video here. I thought I'd just let y'all know. Okay, so let's start off with spell fusion because I actually kind of have a script for once in my life. Which is, you know, pretty impressive for Liam standards. I usually just yap, and I probably will yap a lot in this video like I am right now. But anyways, yes, so I have a couple things written down about what the community does not like about spell fusion. Now, I do want to say I'm very happy about this update still. My perspective and stance really hasn't changed. I think this update isn't as bad as people are making it out to be. Yes, there's a lot of, annoying things that we're going to talk about in this video, but I think as a whole, this update is not terrible. And if you want to call me a KI shill for that, you can go right ahead, man. I talk the most shit about KI, that company, and Wizard101, but it's always out of love, and I always believe in giving credit where it's due. I think spell fusion has a lot of potential. I think the way they went about it probably was not the correct way to go, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm just gonna start reading down the list here. I compiled all the stuff with my chat live on stream. So basically, here is some constructive criticism I have. Essentially, spell fusions are pretty underwhelming, I want to say. They're cool, but not very practical, and they're more useless than they are useful, I would say, generally throughout the game, no matter what kind of mode you're doing, whether it's a raid, PvP, or PvE. Now, in my opinion, I want to say this update is more geared towards people who raid and do like PvE content, which, isn't a terrible thing. PvP doesn't always have to get something. I think as a PvE player, it's going to be very frustrating to not have your level cap go up from 170, but you have to do this entire little side world. So some of the spell fusions are very, very unbalanced. I'm looking right at you, Magma Man, I think it's called. There are a lot of these cards that simply just are so broken and so overpowered compared to all the other ones. Also, something extremely frustrating, and I think this is a common sentiment in the community, is the fact of the matter, even though I am on a storm right now, right, and I've dreamed of having these spells like Lightning Dragon, a Storm Ghost, that probably looks really badass, and the Storm Force Lord, right? We all want spells like this on a storm, and just same thing with everybody else in every other school. You want these spells, they're really cool, but you can't actually train them for yourself. I have a very big issue with this because as a storm, I cannot get access to all of these cool and powerful cards. However, the 6 other schools in the game can get these cards even though they are not even a storm. I think that is extremely unfair and dumb. Maybe they could path B, path A some of these cards for like mono schools, so like you could actually own them. I think that'd be cool as a solution. Another thing I really don't like about this update is the fact of the matter that you can pretty much only train 1 or 2 spells per school. So as a storm, for example, there are 6 other trees I can get spells from, and there are 2 spells per tree. So basically you get 12 new spells maximum per school, which leads me into my next point, right? We have this whole marketing thing of like 140 new spells, and I'm sitting here like, where are all the new spells? And this became very apparent to me when I actually sat down and started making the script and kind of organizing my best spell fusion combo video. Is I want to say probably like 98% of the spells they introduced in this update. And I'm not even trying to be mean here or nitpick. Like, I'm being serious. And if you do PvP, you're relatively high rank, you kind of understand what goes on, you're gonna agree with me here. 98% of these spells just aren't good or are not going to do anything. Back when they teased Grimzilla over on the test realm, I kind of got mad at the devs while they're teasing one of the worst storm spells, and then what do you know, I got my hands on test realm, I looked at all the storm spells, and it's because they all literally suck. The best spell you have on a storm this update is Myth Sirens, but even then it's not very practical because you're not packing sirens in your deck on a storm because that card is just bad in general. And there's 3 schools in particular this update who essentially just did not get an update for PvP at least, right? If you're a storm, myth, or a balance this update, you essentially cannot participate in spell weaving because all of your spells are literally so bad to the point they're unusable. Now, for the 4 other schools in the game, like Ice, Life, Death, and Fire, you actually have a lot of versatility, a lot of good cards, and a lot of cool strats you can go for. And for the people who main those schools, I'm genuinely happy for you. I hope you have a great time this update. I know personally, if this goes out to live realm, I'm just not going to really play much of Storm, Balance, or Myth. I'll be playing the other schools that actually got a wide variety of different playstyles and viable playstyles. But if you're one of those 3 schools like Storm, Myth, or Balance, like, you essentially just cannot participate in weaving. Like, it doesn't matter what you weave into, like, you can't use any of the spells. They're either just horrible and undervalued, or like they're just so bad like you can't use them. So what I'm really hoping for here is KingStyle to find a way to allow the mono schools to actually learn all of these new spells. Like, just look at all of these. Like, if you're a life main or like you're any school, like, you're gonna want to train all of these. Like, they're really freaking cool, man. So try and find a way to like path B them or something and like make them mono. I think that'd be really cool. And I really think they need to reevaluate a couple of spells like the Magma Man one. Like, if you look at a card like Magma Man and then you look at something like Boiling Kraken, it's like night and day. It's like, oh, bro, what am I looking at? Like, it's so bad. So yeah, man, I hope KI can get the spell fusion right. I'm really hoping they are not going to be stubborn about this because I just genuinely don't see it being a good update if this were to go to live realm. Now, thankfully, this is like, what, day 2, maybe 3 at test realm or something like that. So we probably have like another 2 weeks at least before we see it in the live realm. Maybe 3. It's, you know, very buggy right now, but we do have some time. So hopefully they listen to the community and, you know, fix some of these things that we are, you know, complaining and very, you know, upset about. And lastly, I want to talk about the Empower Black Market briefly here at the end. Basically, TLDR, the Empowers are losing their value, and how they're doing this is instead of them being capped at 100 in the bazaar, it's going to be capped at 999. So a good way to explain this would be in live realm, a max value Empower is worth, I think, 2,000 gold, and a low end Empower is worth like 800. But now that number can go all the way up to like 1,000 pretty much. They're gonna be pretty much dead in the market. They're gonna sell for like 100 gold or something. It's gonna be horrible. And a KI employee actually came out and said, I think on Twitter, I think it was Joel or something, but he was like, I've been wanting to kill the black market in Wiz for quite some time. Now, I was honestly on the same page as that for a while until I actually talked to my girlfriend, and this is what it's really nice about having, you know, friends, a girlfriend that plays Wiz, but you can hear different opinions about things and you can be like, oh, I can kind of see where you're coming from. And it really didn't take her that much convincing. I don't even think she was trying to convince me, honestly. And I was like, oh, okay, wait, I'm on the side of the black market people, because at the end of the day, it's helping way more people than it is hurting, right? It's like you have so many people out there who buy bundles and memberships for Empowers because they might not be able to afford a membership, or they're a kid and they, you know, can't buy membership, so they just farm Empowers and that's how they get it. Or people trade Empowers to get like boosted, or people trade Empowers for like literally real life money. I've seen that before. I don't see how this is helping anybody. The only issue I can see with this is the PvP black market, but Then again, PvP is like 5% of the player base. 95% of the game or 100% of the game probably uses the black market or has interacted with it in some way. Servers just went down, okay, whatever, it's fine. So you're basically hurting your game as a whole. Every community, the housing community, PvP, raid, PvE, people who, you know, quit, come back for 6 months later, like it's affecting everybody negatively, right? And the only issue with the black market was the PvP barrier to entry. Okay, instead of addressing that problem that we've complained about for I think 2 years now, probably roughly about, right? They're just gonna take down the entire game's black market. A lot of Discord servers, like, you know, GTP, Gamma Trade Post, like just gonna completely probably go out of business. Like, it's really not good, and it's a really bad look for KI. And I honestly kind of feel bad for Joel tweeting something like this, because he's been getting a lot of hate thrown his way. And you know, it just kind of shows the big disconnect between developers and players. The reason that this was a problem for the PvP barrier to entry is you can basically look back to a couple months ago when Myth Banshee was a thing, right? Every school had to pack a form of, you know, stun, and Myth Banshee was the best one, right? Like, you would hands down win some games and matchups. Honestly, a lot of the times you'd win it off of the Myth Banshee play. So you had to have that. That was a staple in the meta, and you couldn't get it unless you interacted with the black market. But yeah, man, that's everything I want to talk about in the video today, guys. I apologize if it was a bit more of a negative one. I've been, you know, enjoying the update quite a bit, but I did want to cover the news here on the channel. Like I said, today's video was going to be the best like spell infusion combos, and I'll have a tier list this weekend, or starting next week as well. Again, my birthday's coming up, so I'm gonna have some time off there. But yeah, I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching this far. Let me know your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments below. Leave a like and a sub. If not, that's okay. Thank you for watching this far. Okay, bye. Take care.